So this is the Galapagos Tremolo and Clean Boost. Now I wanted to make a tremolo that sounded like an old Fender amp's vibrato, one that's really warm and smooth and has a great pulse to it. I didn't want one that had a lot of switches for sawtooth wave or square wave or any of that garbage. I wanted one that just sounded great out of the box. I also worked in a really usable clean boost that you can push a clean signal up to solo levels, or you can slam a front end of a almost gained out tube amp to then make it really gain out. Let's start off with the controls. They're very straightforward, especially for one of my pedals. Volume is volume. Depth is how much the effect there is. Speed is how fast it is. And thump is a warmth, gain, overall intensity control. I mean, it has a lot of different functions depending on what you do with the rest of the pedal. So let's start off with some tremolo tones. Here's the amp by itself. And here's a nice subtle trem. Now let's set it up for a little bit slower pulse, a little more depth. You'll also notice that the LED pulses with the rate of the trem. This is nice if you have it in an effects loop so you can see what your tempo is before you click it on. It also looks cool. I thought it just looked really cool. Here's a faster tempo. And somewhere in between. Let's turn up the thump for a little more intensity and try it on a few different speeds. Now let's turn the thump control all the way up for a lot of intensity. A little bit of grit on the top too. This is a pretty clean amp, so it's not going to add much gain, but we'll back off the volume to make up for the overall level difference. Now if we back the depth off a little bit and leave the thump all the way up, we get an intense trem, but it's kind of in the background, so it's great for rhythm work. Now let's get some distorted tones with the chordal british-stortion. First, the amp by itself. And if you want, you can get that gated, choppy, on-off type of trem tone too. So let's switch things around a bit and use the Galapagos as a boost pedal. If you turn the depth and the speed all the way down, the light will still pulse, yet there will be no tremolo whatsoever, which gives you the volume and the gain thump control to push clean amps or distorted amps with a lot more signal. First, we're going to start off with just the clean amp by itself. Now with the clean boost from the Galapagos. And if you put it in front of a distorted amp or a distorted pedal, you get more gain. Now keep in mind, in this setting, the thump knob works as an overall gain. So if you want to push your amp even harder, just turn it up more. We only have it halfway up. And if you want to blend in a little bit of trem with that boost, feel free to turn up the depth and speed a bit. Right now, we have it turned down to where there's no trem whatsoever. And might I say how nice these two pedals look sitting next to each other. The jacks on the top, you can get them almost touching. It's a great way to utilize every bit of real estate on your pedal board. So there you have it. That's the Galapagos Tremolo and Clean Boost. Oh, and remember, the Galapagos Trem and all of the Reptile series pedals are 100% hand-built in-house by me. I don't farm stuff out.